Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Relief Valve podcast. We've got a lot of news to get to here today, so I'm going to jump right in. So first, we have the Trump assassination attempt. I've got that with another potential bomb found at a new rally he was doing in Long Island. But we're going to get to that first because we've got the breaking news of the pagers exploding yesterday, with apparently additionals happening today, and this is great. So have you checked your pager's extended warranty? Or the 1980s called Hezbollah, and they want their shit back. So 2,700 plus dead, allegedly, are injured after pagers used by Hezbollah explode. It is believed the devices were infected with malware that intentionally caused them to overheat and detonate. This is a brilliant move by the IDF, by the Israelis. Thousands of pagers used by Hezbollah terrorists in Lebanon exploded simultaneously in their hands and pockets on Tuesday without warning. Lebanese Health Minister Firas Abiad said more than 2,700 people were injured, 200 of whom are in critical condition, and at least 8 people were killed. The Wall Street Journal reported that the Iranian-backed terrorist group received the pagers in a new shipment in recent days. While it was, that's why you don't order from Temu, guys. While it was not immediately clear what caused them to explode, it is believed they were infected with malware that intentionally caused them to overheat and detonate, according to the Wall Street Journal. So I had queued this video up, but somebody has it here. So this is definitely worth a watch. Breaking from Reuters, hundreds of members of Hezbollah were seriously wounded on Tuesday when the pagers they used to communicate exploded. Here's with a video of one of the pager explode. Here's the hey! Oh! My balls! I swear at one point right there, he says my balls. Hold on. Let's go back. No, I don't give a fuck about the comments. Hold on. Play. Where are we? After he goes down. My balls! This is fucking great. Okay. Absolute scenes of chaos in southern Beirut as hundreds of pagers belonging to members of Hezbollah explode. This is just one location. Hospital videos show Hezbollah members with various injuries, from fingers blown off, hands blown off, and significant eye injuries. Here's another video. So this is the response. We have to have a response to save terrorists. So, video of the aftermath of one of the Hezbollah pager explosions via one of the IRGC media networks. Hundreds of these explosions so far have been enough to cause chaos and some injury, but no destruction to buildings, and so far, no deaths. So they're showing the when it exploded. One was on a table, and it blew up and went through in the guy's house. So I'm assuming, unfortunately, he might have survived. IRGC media channels have published another video of one of the Hezbollah pager explosions. Oh, I love this one. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen, it looks like the Hezbollah member looks down to check his beeper before it explodes, because it starts going off like he's getting a message. Hold on, I've got the incoming call. Okay. So here he is in the blue jeans. He's like, oh, I have a message coming in. Extended. Oh, he blows up. He's at the he's at the checkout. All right, let's replay that. So he's in the yellow at the checkout. He reaches in. I'm getting message. Extended warranty. What the fuck? And he blows up. That's what you get for not buying the extended warranty, asshole. So this couldn't happen to a nicer group of scumbag terrorists. The New York Times reported that pagers also exploded in Syria, where Hezbollah has a presence. According to a news agency affiliated with the Iran's IRGC, a designated terrorist group, the report claimed that 7 people were killed in the blasts. The incident comes as the terrorist group has fired thousands of rockets, missiles, and suicide drones at Israel over the last year, following Hamas' unprecedented terrorist attack where they killed 1,200 people inside Israel on October 7th. Israel's intelligence services announced on Tuesday that they had foiled a plan by Hezbollah to assassinate a former senior Israeli security official using a remotely detonated explosive device that was supposed to occur in the next few days. So, and then we've got a new update here on Israel detonates thousands of Hezbollah walkie-talkies in a second strike, the report says. The personal radios were booby-trapped in advance by Israeli intelligence services. Israel reportedly conducted a second wave of mass precision bombings against the Iranian-backed Hezbollah terrorist organization on Wednesday, detonating thousands of walkie-talkies used by the group. Israel blew up thousands of personal radios, which were used by Hezbollah members in Lebanon in a second wave of its intelligence operation, which started on Tuesday with the explosions of Hezbollah pager devices, per two sources with knowledge, said Israel journalist Barak Ravid. He added the personal radios that were booby-trapped in advance by Israeli intelligence services and then delivered to Hezbollah were part of the militia's emergency communication system, which was supposed to be used during a war with Israel, the sources said. The news comes after Israel wounded thousands of Hezbollah terrorists on Tuesday when it detonated pagers that they were using to communicate. The pagers were packed with a small amount of explosives in a switch that allowed them to be remotely detonated. The first wave of strikes injured approximately 4,000 people, including hundreds who are in critical condition. You can't believe these numbers from the terrorists. They always jack them up to a ridiculous amount to make it seem like Israel's this horrible place that's hurting innocents, when really it's like 5 people that were standing around, including hundreds who are in critical condition, and killed at least dozens of others, allegedly. Videos that were posted online from Israel's second wave of attacks appeared to show even more significant damage. Wireless devices reportedly exploded in Lebanon. One person appears to have been injured at a Hezbollah funeral. Oh, this is going to be fucking classic. Here we go. Boom! Oh no! You purchased funeral for 2? For 5? 5 for 1. I won't go any less than 4 for 1. Hezbollah funeral. Yeah, you got to plan a couple more there, buddies. Significant damage appears to have been made to a motorcycle after a Hezbollah radio. Hey, hello, Hezbollah AAA. My bike exploded. Images circulating online purport to show communication devices used by Hezbollah that exploded in Lebanon. You got some pictures here where they exploded in here. Damage seen in Lebanon from the exploding communication devices. There's a building smoking. And this is great. People online are going, you like Ben Shapiro, they're talking to Ben Shapiro. Like, you're evil, you're awful. Look what what happened, and what this, like, you've got a problem with terrorists being blown up. Like, Israel's actually taking action against terrorists, which is what all of America should still be doing, and what NATO should still be doing for years now. And we just gave up on it because we thought we're safe. Israel is actually fighting back against terrorism again. And of course, the left-wing shitbags are angry about it. Another video shows a walkie-talkie explosion at a funeral in Beirut. Here's a better picture of that when it goes off. Boom! We interrupt this funeral for boom. Hezbollah cars blowing up now after a walkie-talkie started exploding in a second wave today. Going to the store. Oh, shit. I went to get groceries, then boom. Lebanese circulating videos of phone shops with devices blowing up. Oh no, my terrorist store. Fuck. Lebanon Islamist Iran-backed militia of Hezbollah is reporting a second wave of attack that caused older pagers and walkie-talkies to blow up is developing. And this is some of the other pictures you saw. Their devices exploding. There's smoke coming out of the building where the Hezbollah agents were. That asshole's wearing flip-flops. There's been an explosion. Get my best flip-flops. I'm going to check it out. Fucking morons. So absolute kudos to Israel for doing this. Just fucking brilliant. Blowing up all their devices that they're using to secretly communicate with each other. Absolutely fucking amazing. So, okay. So let's get to the shooting with Trump and what we know. The suspect is Ryan Ruth. He's a blue-haired lefty moron who went to Ukraine in order to raise money and try and get help for the Legion, which is like this just kind of ragtag group of people that get together to fight in battles in countries that are none of their business. And he was, I don't know if he was fighting there, but he went to Ukraine to attempt to help and bring in people into the Legion, including terrorists. Ukraine was using Al Qaeda and ISIS and offering them money if they'd fight on their side against Russia. So Ryan Ruth in custody following a second assassination attempt on Trump at a Florida golf club. So his team confirmed that he's safe from the incident. We already know this. This was a couple of days ago. The Secret Service opened fire after spotting the man with an AK-47 and a GoPro and some ceramic tiling that is somewhat it can be bullet resistant. And then the GoPro to record the event so he could be a left-wing loser hero. So, following along, lawmakers on both sides of the political spectrum sent well wishes to the former president after news of the attempted shooting spread across the country. Yeah, we believe all them. Secret Service agents fired on the suspect, Ryan Wesley Roth, as he was lying in wait on a golf course Trump was playing on. Reports say the gunman was just one hole away from the former president when agents confronted him. Trump was quickly rushed to safety and the gunman fled. Authorities soon apprehended the moron, thanks to a witness who had taken a photo of his escape vehicle after watching Ruth flee out of the bushes. Trump soon issued a statement on the incident, calling for national unity and reassuring supporters that he's safe. There is never a place for political violence of any kind in America. Oh, this was Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, as the investigation in today's incident continues, let us commend law enforcement for their actions to keep the former president safe from harm. I'm sure that hurt for her to write that. Representative Nancy Pelosi and said her bullshit. Trump assassination task force member, no way in hell Florida suspect should have been that close. Representative Tim Burchett, Republican from Tennessee, blasted the Secret Service and other authorities for not securing the area around former President Trump before another attempted assassination attempt against him on Sunday. Burchett spoke to Eric Shawn on Fox News Live about ongoing details regarding the assassination attempt outside Trump International Golf Club, where Trump was playing golf at the time. Authorities have said the suspect, later identified as Ryan Roth, was 300 to 500 yards away before Secret Service opened fire against him. The congressman wants answers on how the suspect was able to get that close to the former president and revealed that other lawmakers are already demanding more security measures. Now, they've already said that, and it's wrong, but when you're running for office, the candidate gets less overall protection than the president does. So our taxpayer dollars are being wasted on protecting Dementia Joe and protecting Comrade Kamala, traitors to the United States of America. Our money is being wasted on protecting them. And in the meantime, the guy that wants to help save the country doesn't have enough protection and is now getting multiple attempts against his life at this point. And the only reason he survived up to this point, because all of these people have been getting way too close. They've been using the fumbles or the purposely created bad situations by either the Secret Service, the FBI, and et cetera, is because they have been some of the biggest left-wing retards, mentally ill people that could be sent. The kid that was on the roof in Butler, PA, was a left-wing loser moron. This guy he colored his hair, the Ukraine colors, because he was all about helping Ukraine and thought Trump was bad. He's another left-wing mentally ill moron. There's a picture of the retard right there. And his son, of course, is like, well, my dad's a great guy. I don't know what you're talking about. He's never done anything wrong. And, of course, he's got a criminal background. And, of course, he's a scumbag. The man arrested at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida on Sunday afternoon prolifically posted on social media about world events and politics and had at least 100 run-ins with police, public records show. Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58, was arrested Sunday after allegedly pushing the muzzle of an AK-47 through the chain link fence outside of where Trump was golfing. Trump was not injured during the incident and was safely escorted away from the area, officials in the campaign reported Sunday. Ruth currently resides in Hawaii after spending the majority of his life in North Carolina, where he worked construction, including owning a company called United Roofing. A background check conducted by Fox Digital shows. Fox News Digital poured through the suspect's alleged social media accounts on Sunday afternoon and found he prolifically posted about Trump, the war in Ukraine, the 2020 election, and other world events. I feel lucky to have been born in America with freedom and opportunity and hope. Do not waste such a valuable thing to do more and take less, Ruth's apparent X account biography declares. In 2020, during the presidential primary, the X account said, I was not supporting Bernie, but now I am. As Sleepy Joe stands for nothing, no plans, no ideas, just as limp as Hillary. Bernie, give him hell, fight to the death. So, this guy's already a retard. He has no clue what's going on. The account also weighed in on Trump's assassination attempt in July, calling on Vice President Kamala Harris to visit with those injured at the Pennsylvania Trump rally because Trump will never do anything for him. So, you can just tell by looking at this how mentally ill this guy is. And he bought into the rhetoric that is being pushed by the Democrats that Trump's evil, Trump has to be stopped, Trump is a serious danger to this country. And then you've got left-wing retards like this who buy this crap from the Democrats, hook, line, and sinker, and they feel like they have to take some sort of action and they have to get rid of him. You and I, in the meantime, I hate Comrade Kamala. She's a piece of shit that shouldn't be there. I hate Dementia Joe. He's a scumbag, corrupt piece of shit that shouldn't be there. But you don't see me hiding in bushes with a rifle trying to take my own action about it, right? I try to follow the rules and I try to follow the process to get these scumbags out of office and have them face the responsibility of their actions. But when you have mentally ill people like this, and you have the Democrats pushing this agenda, these mentally ill people that have no life and nothing to live for are going to attempt to kill Trump and be the hero of the losers. They want to be king of all the left-wing losers. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican from Kentucky, said he's grateful. Former President Trump is safe after he survived a second assassination attempt on Sunday and stressed that there is no place for political violence. They all say that it's words that mean absolutely nothing. They're just this useless bullshit. Very grateful President Trump is safe after another attempted assassination attempt, Cocaine Mitch wrote on the social media platform X. There's no place for political violence in our country, and the responsible for it must be held to account. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. Once you do something more about it than that. The Democrats are the ones pushing and sparking all of this. Then they have the audacity to turn around and blame it on Trump. So House Speaker Mike Johnson came out, and him and his wife are thanking God. The man accused in the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump was oddly calm when the law caught up to him. Yeah, because he's out of his mind. For the Florida sheriff who nabbed him. In an exclusive interview with Fox News Digital, Martin County Sheriff William Snyder said he was immediately suspicious after pulling over with a 58-year-old Ryan Ruth had fled in a black Nissan after Secret Service agents fired shots after spotting him poking a rifle through the fence around Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach, Florida, where the former president was playing around. I was at the scene, and he had a very, very kind of detached, flat face, so I felt like it wasn't bothering him, Snyder said. Snyder added that Ruth never even questioned him about the reason for him being pulled over, despite there being helicopters and police lights everywhere. Yeah, the left are brain dead. They're just their wires are all crossed. They're programmed to just try and do that one thing, and like they're zombies after that. It's almost like they're sleeper agents. The plot was foiled when a Secret Service agent. Ruth was allegedly armed with an AK-47 outside the golf course while Trump was playing the fifth hole on Sunday. He was arrested in a neighboring Martin County, Snyder said. The plot was foiled when a Secret Service agent walked on the golf course a hole ahead of Trump's party, saw the rifle. Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw said during a press conference, Ruth was 300 to 500 yards away from Trump. Authorities said, I think every American with common sense recognizes no matter where you are on the political spectrum, this is completely appalling. I mean, it's horrific, Snyder said. Here you have the past president of the United States, a contender for being the next president of the United States, and the guy's out golfing. What the heck? He was out golfing. He's not even on the campaign, Snyder continued. So Trump came out and thanked everybody for the support. I'd like to thank everyone for your concern and well wishes. It was certainly an interesting day. Most importantly, I want to thank the U.S. Secret Service Sheriff Rick Bradshaw and his Office of Brave and Dedicated Patriots and all law enforcement for the – posted this on X – for the incredible job done today at Trump International in keeping me as the 45th president of the United States and the Republican nominee in the upcoming presidential election safe. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I'm very proud to be an American. So, Trump keeping his head up and surviving all this. It's like now with all the left-wing nut jobs that are taking shots and getting close to him. I mean, they're making it so it's not safe for him to go anywhere. So he tries to do a rally. He gets a left-wing nut job, attacks him. He tries to just have a round of golf and mind his own business. A left-wing nut job attacks him. People brought up good points. How did this mentally ill moron know to be, because apparently Trump planned this golf outing at the last minute. So how did this mentally ill leftist happen to know to be at the range, move ahead to get him at the fifth hole and be set up there all within a very short period of time when Trump made this decision to golf? And it just seems like, even Alex Jones is saying this, it just seems like there's someone on the inside that's feeding these left-wing nut jobs information, or they're getting it somehow from an insider or from the CIA or elements in the CIA and the FBI. But it's purely a coincidence that these nut jobs are finding a very convenient spot to hide that isn't covered, or the kid on the roof in Butler, PA. Very conveniently, the FBI are saying we're going to cover that roof, and then they don't do anything about it. And then he's able to climb up there safely without having any issues. And it's only the people pointing at him and flagging down the police that they climbed up there to find him. And the police fell down after he turned around and pointed the rifle at them. But other than that, it seemed like pure incompetence and an absolute setup at the Butler, PA thing. And now this guy conveniently knows where to be and where to make an attempt on Trump at the golf course when it wasn't even on his schedule of things to do. So it's, I don't think anybody from the Trump campaign watches the show or happens to come across this and check it out. But citizens need to start coming to the aid of Trump as well, because these corrupt agencies that want unmitigated power are going to keep trying to kill Trump. He's going to win. Anyone whose brain functions, and you see Comrade Kamala talk, or Dementia Joe do anything at all, they all see that these people are corrupt and they don't want them in office. Everyone is waking up to the fact that this is a horrible, corrupt, tyrannical regime, and they want them out of office. So now it seems like these other agencies and whoever is working against him is doing their absolute best to assassinate him. This is 2 times now, with a potential third here. And we have this in Long Island. So police are saying, and this is breaking news today, police are saying there's no threat to former President Donald Trump's rally site on Long Island after explosives were reportedly found in a car near the site. A spokesperson for the Nassau County Police Department confirmed to Daily Mail there was a suspicious occurrence on Wednesday ahead of Trump's speech, where thousands of MAGA fans are gathering. But there is no validity to a report that there was an explosive device found. Reports of explosive devices being found at the site are unfounded, said Nassau County Commissioner of Police Patrick Ryder. He went on to blame a suspect with a self-trained bomb-detecting dog for sounding the alarm about explosives near the rally site. So it's possible that it was, a Trump supporter with a dog that's supposed to be trained. So somebody has taken the initiative in looking out for President Trump. They're calling him a suspect. He's not a suspect. He was out there, checking out the area with his own dog. I don't know if his dog's trained to sniff bombs or not. But this goes back to what I said before. If the public is taking initiative in attempting to defend President Trump, that's a good thing. So maybe this guy made a mistake. Maybe there was a misunderstanding here, whatever it was, but it seemed like his dog found something. He brought it to the authorities. They checked it out, and they're claiming that there was nothing there for sounding the alarm about explosives near the rally site. The latest reports of a possible Trump security breach comes just 3 days after a would-be assassin was arrested after stalking the former president with a rifle as he golfed at his Palm Beach golf club. Police working in conjunction with Secret Service remain on high alert in the area hours before the former president is set to take the stage. And we're seeing some pictures here from, that's the rally at Nassau today, I guess. So there's a person who is being questioned who may have been training a bomb detection dog near the site, said Commissioner of Police Ryder. The individual with the bomb dog falsely reported explosives being found, and that individual is currently being detained by police. So it's possible the guy was trying to help, and you arrested him for it. Why don't you arrest the bad guys that are trying to shoot Trump? That would be fucking helpful. Sources in Nassau County Police Department had allegedly told journalist James Lolino earlier Wednesday that the rally site perimeter was breached and a blue barrel was removed. In addition, during the canine sweep, they apparently found an explosive device in one of the vehicles. The sources allegedly said the driver ended up running into the woods. No one saw if he had anything on him. They just saw him take off running. A lot of cars are now parking. They're lining up on Hempstead Turnpike, just parking on the grass, even over at Eisenhower Park. They're just parking over there. The source went on to tell Alino, according to a post on X. Thousands of MAGA fans are expected to descend upon Long Island this afternoon ahead of the 7 p.m. rally at the Nassau Coliseum. A large crowd has already assembled, and many camped out overnight to get good seats in the indoor arena. Doors don't open until 3 p.m., so it's happening shortly. But already MAGA fans have assembled, decked out in Trump gear, hats, buttons, and waving large flags. Nassau County Police allegedly told thedailymail.com they are working on an email to send out in response to the alleged security event. So a Secret Service spokesman also said that reports of explosives found in a car is false. Then who was the guy that was running away from the blue car then? They seem to be all over the place with this. Trump has largely moved to indoor events since the first attempt in his life in Butler, Pennsylvania on the 13th of July. He was shot in the right ear when a would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, as shots ran out at a midsummer rally after the stunning security failure. 2 months later, a gunman pointed an AK-47 at the former president while he was playing at the Trump International Golf Course in West Palm Beach on Sunday just after 1 p.m. Now, another interesting thing here was, how did a guy that used to live in North Carolina, currently lives in Hawaii, has been in Ukraine helping out with recruiting people for the Legion, bring an AK-47 into the continental United States to try and kill Trump? You can't fly from Hawaii to the continental United States with an AK-47 in your load-on luggage, or even disassembled in the belly of the plane. So how did he get the weapon when he got here? And how did he get all of his setup to be at the golf course? A lot of questions remain to be answered about how this scumbag got all of this, because he's just a moron leftist. So who was he working with that provided him all of this? He didn't come up with it on his own. He didn't conveniently get the AK once he got here. There's a lot to be figured out here. Trump has blamed the rhetoric of both President Joe Biden and VP Kamala Harris for inspiring the violence against him, and that's 100% correct. Video of the moment Donald Trump's alleged would-be assassin Ryan Wesley Ruth was arrested was released by cops on Monday. Ruth, 58, is seen struggling with officers with his T-shirt and arms. Hold on, sorry, I thought I turned this off. Ring camera set up to keep an eye on the chickens. Okay, so Ruth, 58, is seen struggling with officers with his shirt and arms over his head after he was surrounded by law enforcement on a road about 50 miles from West Palm Beach, Florida. He was stopped on Sunday morning just over an hour after he allegedly pointed a rifle through a fence to try and kill the former president while he was playing golf. Police were able to track him down after a witness saw him fleeing the scene in a stolen black Nissan SUV and shared his license plate with police. In the video, Ruth is wearing a bright orange short-sleeve T-shirt and dark sunglasses. He seemed extremely calm under the circumstances as armed law enforcement officials barked orders at him to keep his hands up and walk slowly backwards toward him. Police released a picture of the suspect with a chilling smile as he was walked briskly into the patrol car once he was detained. New details emerged on Monday that Ruth could have been in the bushes by the golf course for 12 hours before the terrifying attempt on the former president's life. An officer is heard in the body cam footage shouting instructions at Ruth. Driver, take 2 steps to your right, take 2 steps to your right. You don't actually have the video? Well, that's fucking convenient. So there's him. They're pulling the shirt up over his head, his hands behind his back. His sunglasses are still on in there. So if this is video, why isn't it playing? So this is the criminal cover sheet. Did this matter originate from a matter pending in the North region of the United States? Which is just like a fucking questionnaire. So these are the documents for the charges that are being filed against him. Here's a picture of the bags he had set up: the GoPro, the ceramic plating to use as makeshift Kevlar, and then a supply bag with like additional rounds and whatever that he had hanging on the fence while he was waiting. So more information has got to come out about that. Um, here was the scumbag a while back. He was in Ukraine and he was being interviewed. We're kind and we're caring, and I try to shoot presidents in my spare time. You see, like this, the dead overall look on his eyes and his face, like there's no emotion. It's almost like he's reading a script as one of the worst actors ever, and it's just there's no life or emotion there at all. No, it is. to you, you fucking left-wing nut job. Too old and incompetent to fight for the corrupt people in Ukraine. What does that tell you? Help the corrupt scumbags in Ukraine. Mentally ill morons. So this is the left-wing nut job that tried to kill Trump a couple of days ago. This was him in Ukraine in 2022. He goes there trying to be some wannabe hero. They tell him he's 56 or 58. He has no skills whatsoever, and they don't even want him. So the Ukrainian military rejects him, even though they're desperate for help. They didn't take this loser. And then at some point, he comes home and decides to fuck up his own country instead of fucking off in Ukraine. So, who knows if he was indoctrinated while he was in Ukraine and became a Ukrainian agent. Again, the questions are, this guy lives in Hawaii. How did he get an AK-47 from Hawaii to the continental United States in order to use it to attempt to assassinate Trump? How did he do that? How did he get an AK-47, one of the primary weapons being used in the Ukraine-Russia conflict? How did he get that from Hawaii, or his trip from Ukraine to Hawaii to back to the United States again? How did he facilitate all that? And was Ukraine at all involved in helping this brain-dead moron get the supplies he need in order to make this attempt on Trump? Because they know if Trump gets in office, he's turning off the money spigot for Ukraine. The corrupt shitbags in Ukraine aren't going to be able to buy any more extra houses or extra cars or line their own pockets. They're going to have to deal with their own problem, which has nothing to do with the United States at all. They're going to have to deal with their own problem and use their own resources to do it. And Trump will stop wasting the taxpayers' dollars in a country that we have absolutely zero to do with. They're not NATO. They're not an ally. We're not doing any business with them other than the corrupt business dealings that Dementia Joe has with Ukraine. Other than that, there's no dealings between Ukraine and the United States at all. We are absolutely wasting our time and money there. But here's a nut job here. He had colored his hair in support of Ukraine. So he had the flag's colors in his hair at this time. And I don't know if it was most recently when he was captured as well, if his hair was still colored. But this is when he was Ukraine. And did he get indoctrinated while he was there and become an agent for them? And that's the reason that he was here doing this. It's an interesting question. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Okay, so moving on to some of the final things here. So Diddy has finally been arrested and incarcerated. Diddy indictment bombshells, what legal experts predict for the future of the fallen music mogul. Here's another left-wing scumbag Democrat supporter. Sean Diddy Combs was ordered held without bail following his arrest on multiple sex crime charges. Have you guys noticed that a fair amount of Democrats are just pedophiles, thieves, and just overall scum? So Sean Diddy Combs was accused of being the leader of a criminal enterprise in a bombshell indictment unsealed hours after the disgraced media mogul was arrested in the lobby of the Park Hyatt New York City hotel. Combs, 54, appeared in Manhattan federal court Tuesday, where he pleaded not guilty to racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. Not only was Combs denied a proposed $50 million bail, he was also remanded and sent to jail immediately after the hearing. Combs was officially charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. He faces a minimum of 15 years behind bars or a maximum sentence of life in prison if found guilty. United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Damian Williams, released a previously sealed indictment hours before Combs was due in court, which revealed a number of shocking allegations against a fallen bad boy entertainment tycoon. While at the helm of the organization, officials claim Combs and a number of unnamed associates in the Combs enterprise used intimidation tactics to lure female victims into Combs' orbit, often under the pretense of a romantic relationship. He would then use force, threats of force, coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers that Combs referred to as, among other things, freak-offs, according to the indictment. Freak-offs were elaborate produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. Combs and his staff allegedly transported commercial sex workers across state lines and internationally for the freak-offs, which regularly occurred and sometimes lasted multiple days. Wow. Often including multiple sex workers. Combs allegedly distributed a variety of controlled substances to the victims, in part to keep the victims obedient and compliant, sometimes unbeknownst to the victims. Combs kept videos he filmed of victims engaging in sex acts with commercial sex workers following the freak-offs. Combs and his victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use, documents stated. Well, at least he had supplies on hand. San Diego criminal defense lawyer Ali Keegan told Fox News Digital that if the allegations are true, they're deeply disturbing. What is interesting about the indictment itself is how detailed it is. The government knew this would be a high-profile case and clearly took the time to paint a picture of how Combs allegedly used his media empire to exploit and abuse women, Keegan said. That level of graphic detail helps those hearing the allegations for the first time to really picture the depth of the potential conspiracy. So it makes you wonder why it took them so long to get him. If they known this has been going on for years, all of those women have suffered through all of this for years. And now you decide to grab him. It's almost as if they want to keep diverting our focus away from the corrupt regime that's in office screwing us and on to things like this. He's the next sacrificial lamb, in my opinion. I didn't believe this was true, but apparently it was. The 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. On March 25th, Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami were raided in connection to a federal human trafficking investigation, officials confirmed to Fox News Digital at the time. During the search, authorities allegedly seized various freak-off supplies, as we mentioned earlier, including narcotics, in more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. He was single-handedly keeping the baby oil business above water. What is members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting, the indictment claimed. The associates also cleaned, The associates also cleaned hotel rooms following the freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arrange the travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from the freak-offs, and were responsible for resupplying Combs with requested supplies. The team members allegedly delivered large sums of cash to Combs to pay the commercial sex workers and would also schedule the delivery of IV fluids. Piori Saporia, partner at Greenberg Klusker and a former federal prosecutor, were surprised by the mass quantities of supplies found at Combs' residence. Generally speaking, the allegations of a vast criminal conspiracy effectively designed and perpetuated to fulfill the peccadillos of one individual seem pretty shocking in this day and age. Sapori told Fox News Digital. More specifically, the allegation that authorities seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant definitely has that ew factor, because it's difficult to imagine a need to maintain those quantities on hand. Was there a massive Costco sale? No, he bought them out. Probably not. Members of the Combs enterprise, including his personal secretary, detail at times carried firearms, according to the indictment. Combs was accused of carrying or brandishing a firearm to intimidate and threaten others, including victims of and witnesses to his abuse. Officials seized firearms and ammunition from Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami during the March 25th raid, which included 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. Combs enterprise members and associates allegedly witnessed the rapper's violence towards the victims or the victims' injuries caused by Combs without intervening. We also got arson charges. Under the racketeering conspiracy, Combs allegedly engaged in multiple acts involving arson, chargeable under the following provisions of state law: California Penal Code 451, California Code 21A, 664, Penal Code 31, aiding and abetting attempt, and California Penal Code 182, conspiracy. When employees witnesses to his abuse or others threaten Combs' authority or reputation, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise engage in acts of violence, threats of financial and reputational harm, and verbal abuse, the indictment stated. These acts of violence including kidnapping and arson. In addition, on multiple occasions, Combs threw both objects and people, as well as hit, dragged, choked, and shoved others. What a great guy. And a Democrat voter as well. Been hanging out with Obama, hanging out with others. He loved the Democrats. Officials claim Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. And they've got the video evidence and other, et cetera. So let's see what they say for this. Physical assaults at the hands of Combs were reoccurring and widely known. According to the indictment, Combs allegedly assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at, and kicking them. Surveillance video taken from a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, and I saw this, allegedly showed the billionaire publicly assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. In the footage, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at the woman as she was attempting to leave. So she's trying to get to the elevator. He walks down the hall in a towel, walks over, and just starts like punching her in the head and knocking her to the ground and then kicking her while she's on the ground. When a member of the hotel security staff intervened, Combs attempted to bribe the staff member to ensure silence. Nima Rahmani, a former federal prosecutor and president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, told Fox News Digital that the video evidence helps present a strong case. I don't know if this is going to play, but here's the video here when he... All right, sorry, guys. We got to get rid of the shit commercial, and then it'll play. Fuck off. Thank you. All right, here's the video. So here she's trying to escape. Here he comes in his towel. Punches her in the back of the head, grabs her, knocks her down. Grabs all her crap. Kicks her again. Drags her. Holy shit. That's that part. Ah. Except for what was on video. I didn't do anything that people are saying except for the things that were caught on video and irrefutable. Fucking idiot. Combs allegedly maintained his good reputation. Yeah, right. Combs allegedly maintained a network of people in his Combs enterprise who helped facilitate his global business by preserving, protecting, promoting, and enhancing the power, reputation, and brand of Sean Combs, the indictment said. Associates proved their loyalty and fulfilled obligations through violence, use of firearms, threats of violence, coercion, verbal and emotional, physical, and sexual abuse. In addition, the members were available to help fulfill Combs' personal desires, particularly those related to sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. Even with a skilled lawyer, RICO charges can be difficult to overcome, Sapori said. The government has to prove every element of a RICO case beyond a reasonable doubt. So the best strategy for Diddy may involve challenging the existence of the alleged criminal organization, or that the alleged activity wasn't sufficient to create a pattern of alleged criminal activity. So he's fucked. The judge, Robin Tarnofsky, decided there were no conditions that she could impose on Combs in his plea for bail Tuesday. Tarnofsky pointed out sex trafficking is a crime that happens behind closed doors, and the rapper would be hard to monitor even with pre-trial monitoring services. The judge considered alternatives to detainment, but found they were not sufficient. Tarnofsky conceded the weight of the evidence against Combs is significant, and they gave him no bail. He's in jail awaiting the continuation of the trial. So he's fucked, and that's what he deserves. He's a fucking left-wing elitist scumbag. So, okay, to finish up the show here, this is just in the continuing oddity of the Walsh family. These people are just their family members endorse Trump, and Walsh himself and his idiot wife are just the oddball. The son's disabled. I guess that came out as to why he was acting the way he did at the DNC. And honestly, I think it's the mother's where he got it from, because she looks disabled too. Here's this moron, part of it at a campaign event they were doing in Wisconsin. And she's doing we're going to turn the page routine. This woman's a teacher. Imagine having her teach your kids. But here's some of that. I turn the page. We're going to fuck you all over. I like this because I'm retarded. And I like movement. We're going to turn the page. Do it with me. We're going to turn the page. She's like the fucking Mad Hatter. Change places. A bunch of fucking retards. You really want these dummies running our government? I mean, the biggest group of oddball fucking weirdos. I watched a fair amount of this bullshit campaign speech here. And it's very similar to Kamala's. They talk about, if I was your neighbor, I'd shovel your driveway. Would you shovel mine? And all the idiots in the crowd are like, yeah, even though you wouldn't let her walk on your property. But like, okay, do you have any plans? Your husband wants to trans all the kids and put women's stuff in the boys' bathroom, women's hygiene products in the boys' bathroom for the trannies. Do you have any plans that don't fuck over the American people and that aren't wacko, like radical left-wing garbage? No, it's I'll take your garbage out if you take mine out. Aren't we all neighbors, and aren't we all fucking? No, we're not. Come up with a policy that helps the country, you fucking loon. I'm also high. Just show me this. You're all my fifth grade class. You're all a bunch of retards. Turn the page. Bye-bye. I'm a fucking nutcase. So there you go. Here's the mentally ill transgender morons that are running for office to rule over our country. So I don't know how much more you need if you're an undecided voter that you want these mentally ill people getting into office and running the country. I sure as hell don't. And I don't want Mrs. Turn the Page Wallace in the White House either. So that's the end of the show. You can reach us on X. We get rid of that brain dead moron. So it's at the Relief Valve Podcast on Twitter, or formerly Twitter, now X. You can also write into the show, reliefvalvepodcast@aol.com. And, I ask a question. Let me know what you think about the show. If there's something I haven't gotten into and you'd like more information, let me know, and I'll do a deeper dive on all of it. But and then we'll have the shitbag roundup coming up this weekend, where I'll show you more shitbags like the Walsh family and the mentally ill leftists that are trying to kill Trump. All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all soon.